Errol Spence did an interview recently, and one of the things I thought was interesting is that he said that you guys talk, whether it's via text message or communication. I mean, how often do you guys talk to each other?
Oh, I wouldn't say we talk like that, but I hit him up a couple of times, and we got on FaceTime and spoke briefly.
What was that conversation like?
It was just us talking about making a fight. That was pretty much it. Not talking about I was gonna fuck him up.
I mean, he says kind of the same thing about you. Is that just talk, or is that? I mean, how real is that?
It's real. You know what I mean? Like, I truly feel like when we fight, I'm gonna fuck him up. And he feel the same way. So that's why, it makes for a great fight. You got the two top welterweights in the division telling the media that they're gonna fuck each one up. So let's see who's telling the truth at the end of the day.
James Bell of the Boxing Source here with another video. And this video here is to talk about the comments from the WBO welterweight champion, Terence Bud Crawford. That was from a podcast with Chris Mannix that was over a week ago. And they talk about the potential fight between Terence Crawford and the unified welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. And that is one of the fights that could be the biggest fights in boxing right now. They do talk about that in that particular podcast. And the thing is like they know that they want to have this fight built as one of the biggest fights in boxing. Of course, there's been a lot of banter back and forth over the past year and a half in reference to this particular fight because back in, I would say 2018, people were starting to talk about that fight happening. But there was a confrontation between those two guys, or those two fighters, at one point. And in that particular instance, you had, both of them talking with each other. And the thing about that is you had Terence Crawford there with Bob Arum, and you had Errol Spence Jr. There talking about what his supposed schedule was going to be at that particular time. Now, what they were doing then is they were trying to actually plan out the particular fight so that it would be the biggest fight in the welterweight division. Potentially for that fight to be for the undisputed welterweight championships. Because at the time, before you had Errol Spence Jr. as the IBF welterweight champion, and then you had Terence Crawford as the WBO welterweight champion. Ever since then, Errol Spence Jr. had defeated Sean Porter to win the WBC welterweight championship. And now with him being a unified champion, there's one other world title left that is currently held by Manny Pacquiao, who has the WBA championship. And Errol Spence has a much higher chance to face Manny Pacquiao than Terence Crawford does, as Manny Pacquiao, who used to be with Top Rank, left Top Rank. So, if Errol Spence faces Manny Pacquiao and wins, then they'll have three of the major titles in the welterweight division, with Terence Crawford having the WBO championship. And if they face each other, that would be for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And with that being said, that would just make it a super fight that people would love to see, as it would be two guys that are at the top of their games, that are at their primes, fighting for the undisputed welterweight championship. Now, with the whole thing going on with sporting events not taking place right now, and it will be some time for sporting events to take place, in reference to this particular fight, it might not happen for sometime in maybe 2021. Okay, so that's what I got in reference to this particular topic. You can subscribe to the Boxing Source on YouTube and also catch the Boxing Source radio show that is live Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk Radio, or catch the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, or whatever your favorite podcast is. All right. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.